Hello. In Britain, it's 4:30 in the morning. So, good morning. And I don't know where will you be listening me or watching me at this stage. I'm Dr. Hashmi, I'm a consultant psychiatrist, and my profile and my work in mental health is well described on my website, drhashmionline.com. Now, I have set up 3 live streamings uh, on Twitch. On Saturday evening between 7 to 8, I talk about neurodiversity. Uh, on Wednesday evening, I talk about acute mental health disorders like depression, anxiety, PTSD, schizophrenia, psychosis, different types of mental disorders. And Monday morning, early hours, I have actually set it down to talk about some techniques which can make our lives better. Simple techniques which we can use. I call it DIY psychiatry. It's likely to be published in my book called Psycho Tips. So it's a copyrighted name, Psycho Tips. It is going to be my next book, but the rest of my books, which are namely Psychorupsy and DIDMs, destructive and impulsive decision making, or destructive and impulsive decision makers, basically DIDMs, that is also published on my website, drhashmionline.com. Now, this morning we are going to talk about several aspects of basic things which we can actually use in our day-to-day life and make our lives better. Simple techniques, DIY psychiatry in real sense. So the first concept I want to discuss is what is normal. We see others normal, but what is normal? It's an interesting concept because the first thing we need to understand is where we set our psychological normal, what we think is normal. And once we set that normal, then we continue to match ourselves with that specific self-perceived normal. So what is normal? Now, most of us, a lot of us actually, are in habit of comparing ourselves with other people and then setting our normals. We believe that what we have and what we do is somewhat less than others. This is usually the trend. The second thing is that when I talk to people and I ask them to tell me their 3 best qualities, I always see that people struggle. People really struggle to talk about their qualities. They always take a long time to think, and you have to really dig deep into it to make them realize their qualities. When I talk to them and I ask them, tell me your weaknesses, in the very first minute I make a list of about at least 10 weaknesses. So we are very good in picking our weaknesses. We do not appreciate ourselves enough for the good we do to this world, the good we bring to this world. And I always say that goodness is as simple as, for example, in the morning you have brushed your teeth and you have switched the tap off. You turn the tap off whilst you are brushing your teeth. You are saving water. You are saving clean water. And that itself is a very good deed. It is simple. We don't recognize it. We don't realize it. We never give ourselves a reward of doing any good deed. And that is where we go wrong. What happens, I want to tell you a bit more about mind and brain. Remember, brain is our friend. Brain is very mechanical. Brain which controls our body. Brain what actually helps us to keep our systems going. So brain, in all modesty, in all reality, in all sincerity, brain is our friend as an organ. But mind is not always our friend. Mind plays tricks on us. Mind likes to take control on us. Mind likes to get things done in its own way. Mind is the one which controls us. And this is something we need to realize. Brain is our friend, mind is not always our friend. And mind is the one we need to develop friendship with. We need to bring it into some control. Otherwise, mind is going to continue making us feel the way we feel. Now, during this conversation, if someone wants to ask a question, I'm happy to answer it straight away. I would love to actively engage with the conversational process and actively engage with the viewers on this channel. And I think that is the essence of it, that if I can be of any use in improving anyone's mental health and taking someone's confusions out of their mind, my purpose is solved. That's the reason I'm here. Now, so I was saying to you that mind is which plays tricks on us, and how to bring our mind in our control. One interesting thing you must note, if we do a good deed, we need it to be appreciated. Whatever we do good, we need it. Everybody loves appreciation. Everyone amongst us has a different level of appreciation, but we love appreciation. We love to be appreciated for the work we do, for things we have done, with the positives we do in life. Yes, for the goodness we do, we contribute positive, we love to be appreciated. If we are not going to be appreciated, then we are not going to continue to be good. That is the way human mind works. Now, interestingly, with this exciting or unusual nature of relationship between brain and mind, our mind doesn't always remind our brain to reward us in actual chemical terms. As we know, there are chemicals in brain and what we call it neurotransmitters. I don't want to make this conversation complex, but the simple thing is that our brain is hugely controlled by neurotransmitters. And the neurotransmitters, as certain aspects of our brain, makes us feel good. They actually makes us feel rewarded. In simple words, there is a reward button in our brain. and brain is our friend. But mind likes to control it. Mind is something which takes our thoughts way out of our control. Mind is something which makes it difficult for us to see or feel the appreciation, and that's exactly what happens. We do good deeds, we do good things, as simple as turning the tap off after using the water, or whilst we are brushing our teeth, or making a cup of tea for our loved one. Simple chores, simple tasks, which are tasks of good deed, or just smiling on someone. Just smile on when you see someone, or saying hello or goodbye in the morning. Just sharing the blessings, or sending food to the neighbors. Anything, any simple things which we do as a part of our routine, or just talking nicely to someone. Just appreciating someone, saying something, wow, you are wearing absolutely fantastic clothes today. Oh, you look so nice today. Simple, nice, positive comments. And that should be enough in making other people feel. And they are all tasks which don't cost anything, but they are very good tasks. Now, our brain never make us realize of these good tasks. Then what happens? If the mind doesn't realize, it doesn't make brain of these good tasks, then the brain will not be able to press the reward button in our heads, in our brains, and we are unlikely to feel good even after doing a good deed. So what's the solution? The solution is very simple. Remind yourself of your good deeds before the end of the day. If you are doing a good deed, yes, remind yourself, that's wonderful, but a lot of people might not find that time to do it. Then how to do it? The simple thing is, before you close your day, before you settle for bed, before you end your day, just go through the events and make sure your mind reminds your brain the good deeds you have done on that day. You don't have to think of every good deed you have done, but at least 3 of them. 3 is a magical figure. For some reason, 3 is a magical figure. At least you pick 3 good deeds and you will start feeling better. Trust me, the mood you go to bed in, you are likely to wake up with the same mood. Because that specific mood going to influence the activity your brain is going to undertake during the night. So if you are falling asleep with good mood, energyful, feeling appreciated, feeling good about yourself, that I have done these good deeds today, my mind has reminded my brain that I have done these 3 good deeds today. Only 3 would do. You don't have to lie in bed for an hour, continue to think what good deeds you have done. only 3 good deeds would do. Just remind yourself of 3 good deeds so that your brain can press the reward button and make you feel better. Now, once you start feeling better and appreciated by your own inner self, that specific feeling, that feeling of being valued, that feeling of closing your day with a great positive event of thinking that you have done these 3 good deeds during the day, and your brain has accepted the reward, it is going to discharge the right chemicals or neurotransmitters you need. The neurotransmitters you need to feel satisfied and happy in yourself. Now, with this level of good mood and feeling appreciated and valued, you fall asleep. What's going to happen in your mind? Your mind and your brain start to work together during your sleep. The quality of your sleep will improve. The quality of your dreams will improve. You will have more contented sleep. And it's likely, very, very likely, that you are going to wake up in the same mood, which means feeling appreciated, valued, and satisfied, contented the following day. And that's all about. So, the essence of my discussion is very simple. Appreciate yourself for the good you do. We started conversation by saying that what is normal. Nothing is normal. We all are individuals in our own right. You will not believe that we are so different, not only the way we look, the way we act, the way we feel, but even biologically and chemically, we are extraordinarily different. And my experience is that even the biological twins who are similar in almost all obvious ways could be so different chemically, biologically. It's amazing to know that even the biological twins, even the identical twins, are different. Different individuals, entirely different individuals. So we cannot actually say that the similar things will work for 2 people. We cannot really say that. So there is no normal. Society, every culture, every religion, every part of the world set their own normals, and people get used to it. But at individual level, your normal is your normal. The focus must be on your strengths, not weaknesses. As I said earlier, that when I ask people to tell me about their strengths, their good things, what they are good at, they struggle. When I ask them to tell me about their weaknesses, they give me a list of 10 things in the first minute. This mindset needs to be changed. And the technique I have told you is going to change your mindset. It is going to change the overall outlook, overall your view about self. So my psycho tip for you is that you need to appreciate yourself with the good deeds you have done in a day. You don't need to make a list of 100 things, just 3 things would do, and you don't have to go out of the way to acknowledge and recognize your good deeds. Good deeds are as simple as saying hello to a neighbor with a smile on your face. It is as simple as making a cup of tea for your loved ones. It is as simple as turning the tap off to stop wasting water whilst you are brushing your teeth. These good deeds are not or never recognized. We do not tend to recognize these good deeds. Why? Because we are not used to thinking that way. When it comes to the concept of good deeds, we are told that it got to be something out of the way. We have to go out and probably essentially feed the poor, or we need to do something big to make ourselves feel that we have done good to this world. When in fact, good deeds are far more simpler phenomena than what we perceive it to be. So whatever simplest, because simplest good deeds are the sustainable good deeds. Simplest good deeds are the sustainable good deeds. Big deeds can be done once, twice, few times in lifetime, and then how long? You can't do it every day. But you can actually wish well for someone you know or come across in the supermarket with a smile on your face. Yes, that is something you can continue. You can help anyone with a little thing. So good deeds could be very, very simple. And simplest good deeds are sustainable good deeds. And before going to bed, before closing your day, remind yourself of at least 3 simple good deeds. This will make you feel appreciated, valued, satisfied. This is going to influence the positive thinking in your mind during the sleep. And you are going to wake up feeling better, appreciated, valued, contented. This is a psycho tip for this morning. I am going to take a small break and we'll come back with another psycho tip. Goodbye for a few seconds. Now, with this psychotip, I call this psychotip, I've given it a title. The title of this psychotip is Everything Grows Like a Tree. It's a part of my yet to be published book called Psychotips, and Psychotips is a copyrighted word and the name of my book. So I thought it's mentioned. The rest of my work and my books are available on my website drhashmionline.com. Now, the concept is that everything grows like a tree because the tree was once a small plant, a very frail little plant, and before then, a seed. And we have planted that seed in the right type of soil. Then we have nurtured that seed. We have ensured that the seed is, the little pot with the seed is kept in the right part of the house or the gardens or in the greenhouse, wherever is the right environment, the suitable environment for the seed to grow. We water it, we look after it, and we see a small plant coming out of it, small shoots, green shoot coming out of it. And then we nurture, keep nurturing it, and then it keeps growing. And then it becomes a decent sized plant. But the plant is still not strong enough, so we need to keep looking after the plant. And then once it starts getting bigger than the size of the pot, we find a bigger pot or we find the right soil where we could actually plant it. And then what happens? Few years later, without us realizing it, because if you look at it, we don't always spend hours and hours of our time to our house plants. We just probably leave them and enjoy them and look at them now and again. And especially the plants in the gardens, we don't really go and spend a lot of time. Most people don't. If you are at work, you won't get that much time to spend time with plants. So after a while, you look through the window and you see, wow, this plant is grown big now, without realizing it. And to our surprise, few years later, we see it as a big, big tree. Now, this is interesting. Without our realizing, the plant is turned into a big tree. As long as the plant is not as strong as a tree, we try to look after it more. The plant needed looking after a lot as a baby. But then when the plant started growing stronger and started turning into a tree, the need to be looked after reduces, and just leave it out there in the garden. And then it gets its roots is stronger and stronger, getting deeper and deeper in the soil, and you will see the branches getting bigger and bigger, and the tree has become so strong that it can withstand all types of winds and the weathers. Now take this example to your mind and think about a negative thought. Hence the concept that everything grows like a tree. Take the concept of installing a negative thought in your mind, putting a little, hiding a very small seed of grievance in the soil of your mind, or a seed of jealousy, or a seed of anger, or a seed of hatred, or a seed of negativism, any negative thought. You just need to choose the seed. Or you may choose several seeds. At the same time, you can choose a seed of jealousy, anger, negativism, apologize, or revenge. Now, you pick these seeds as you would pick seeds of any plant, and you sow them in a fertile land of your mind. Now, what you are going to do next? You are going to nurture them. You're going to nurture them. You're going to provide them the best environment for the seeds to grow, to little green shoots to start coming out and start growing. And that's what's going to happen. The thing is, human psychological systems are quite complex and interesting. If we believe that we have invested in anything, we like that investment to be successful. This phenomenon is very simple. Like, for example, any private firm goes public and the investors believe that they can make money on the shares or the stocks of the company. They are going to invest in it. Now, any investor in physical terms would never, ever like to lose money. No one has ever invested in any physical project for the sake of losing money. Look at yourself. Would you think of investing in a failing business when you know exactly in a year's time business will go bust and you are going to be out of pocket of the money you have invested in it? Nobody does that. It is not a normal human behavior. We just don't do it. Why do you think your mind works differently? In both investments, whether it's physical and psychological, who is the decision maker? Think. Who is the decision maker? Mind. Your mind is the decision maker whether you are investing in physical terms or in psychological terms. Whether you are investing in real life, whether you are investing in the stocks of a bank, or you are investing in a negative thought, in jealousy, in hatred, in discontent, in revenge, whichever negative thought you want to invest, or whichever physical investment in any stocks and exchange or in any business you would like to do, Who is the decision maker? Your brain is making the decisions. And if the brain is involved and making the decision for the investment, do you think the brain is going to make an investment to lose the resources? You're not going to go and invest 100 grand in a business where you know exactly you're going to lose. You will make sure and make even every possible effort to get your return with good profit. If your brain, if your mind has invested in a negative thinking, your mind is a biased decision maker here. Your mind has now made an investment, it got to be successful. Did you get my point? How can mind make an investment and not to be successful? Mind never makes an investment believing it's going to fail. So if the mind has planted the seed of jealousy, mind will make sure that the seed grow in a little green shoots. Mind will make sure to look after, nurture, provide the right environment to the little plant to grow gradually in a large big tree without you realizing that how much travel your psychological system has already done, how much damage has already been caused. And by the time you realize of the damage is similar to looking out of the window and looking at and seeing the large big tree with a surprise on your face and in your emotions saying, wow, I never expected this tree to grow that big in such a short space of time. And that's exactly what's going to happen. Without your realizing, the psychological system would have grown that huge big tree, a tree of jealousy, a tree of hatred, a tree of discontent, a tree of revenge, and so on and so forth. What you're going to do next? You're going to chop the tree off? You know how difficult it is? You have to, if you want to get rid of a tree from your back garden, you have to ask the experts to come and do it. It's not always your job. You just simply cannot do it most of the time. And even if you chop the tree off, the little stem, maybe a couple of foot long stem, part of the tree's stem is going to stay there. And do you ever imagine being able to get all the roots out of the soil to throw? Can you or will you be ever able to get rid of all the possible roots of the tree which have gone deep down inside the soil out at all? Even with the big huge dig, it's not possible humanly to do that. It's just too much work. It's just effectively, it's virtually it's impossible. So when a tree of a negative emotion, negativism, jealousy, revenge, hatred, discontent, all these things when grow in a big huge trees in your psychological system, how would you be able to get rid of it? Impossible. You need a specialist to start with. Here we are talking about psychologist or psychiatrist. But even with the best management strategies, you might be able to chop the obvious part of the tree, the one most visible, but getting rid of all the roots will be an impossible task. So the concept is, do we need to let these trees grow in our psychological systems? Or can we go without? Can we do without having these trees grow? And what is the solution? Solution is very simple. Don't plant these seeds. Don't plant these seeds. How would you not plant these seeds? And I tell you, there is just simple one word I'm going to use. Rather, I would say two words I'm going to use. And that will change your life forever. Forgive, forget. These are the two tools which will keep your psychological systems clean, the soil well nourished, ready for healthy plants. Remove the weeds. You got to remove the weed from your psychological systems similarly as you remove it from your gardens. Two things. Forgive and forget. No matter what. Don't let seeds of jealousy, revenge, hatred, discontent, or any form of negativism against your own self or others be planted in your psychological systems, because once your mind has decided to plant these seeds, mind will not let that investment go waste. Mind will do its best that these seeds grow, stay well nourished, and turn into a large big trees. And once you have these large big trees of hatred, revenge, jealousy, negativism, incompetency, and discontent in your psychological systems, it'll be almost impossible to get rid of them. You will need professional help to get rid of the obvious part of it, but roots will always remain there. Forgive and forget and move on with life. Don't let these seeds to get near to your psychological systems, otherwise there is only one way forward. They are going to grow into big trees. Hence, everything, you look around, everything in physical life or in our psychological world carry the potential to grow like a tree. Only healthy seeds needs to be planted. We must not let a weed to grow in the gardens of our psychological systems. That's bring end to my second psychotip, which is opt for a principle in life that at the end of the day you are going to forget, forgive. Lying in bed, the first thing you need to do, remind yourself of 3 good deeds. Simple, straightforward, as I discussed in my conversation. 3 good deeds. So you feel appreciated, rewarded, valued. Say to yourself, whatever happened today, I forgive, I forget. Not to mention again, not to think about it, not to let it be planted. Have happy lives. Stay happy. Stay blessed. See you on Wednesday evening. Goodbye.